Today we are so excited because we're talking about big ideas, big creativity, and how students like you can help shape the future. Our guest is a global STEM leader who has worked with schools all around the world and even helped bring learning to life through Minecraft education at Microsoft. Now she leads her own company helping students explore STEM and artificial intelligence in hands-on, exciting ways. Please welcome Dr. Nadine Ebri to BTV.
Hi, everyone.
We are so excited you're here. You are the CEO and founder of Ebri Education. Can you tell us what that means and what you do every day?
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Sofia and Gia, for having me. So as you stated, yes, I am the CEO and the founder of a company called Ebri Education. And through Ebri Education, I train educators, schools, organizations, and students like you, showing them how to use the technologies that you have at your fingertips, especially artificial intelligence. And so it's very important to be able to show people how to use these tools so that they can know how to use them in the future, whatever they decide to do, whether it's running their own businesses or even trying to find a job or going to college. It's important to know how to use technology as we're moving into a technological landscape that's constantly evolving.
Thank you. You partner with schools to create hands-on STEM programs. First, tell everyone what STEM stands for and what does hands-on STEM look like for students?
Yes, so STEM stands for science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. And it's important for students like you to be able to get hands-on experience. So I can tell you about all the amazing tools, but it's a lot more meaningful when you get your hands on them. Like when you use Minecraft education to learn how to code, or if you use a tool like Microsoft's Copilot to learn about artificial intelligence. So it's important to be able to get your hands on different tools. The best way to learn is by doing. And so it's important to try the different tools that you have learned about or even heard about.
Before starting Ebri Education, you worked at Microsoft with Minecraft education. That sounds amazing. What was your role there and what does it mean to you?
Yes, that was a really, really amazing job. Playing one of the top grossing games of all time, or working for one of the top grossing games of all time was really amazing. And so while I was there, I served as the global education community manager. In that role, I managed our global community. So bringing our communities together, creating events, and also listening to students like you and also teachers, trying to hear getting their feedback so I can bring it back to the teams so that they can make those adjustments in the game so that we can ensure that the game was the best possible game it could be for you all.
Thank you. I have a follow-up question for you. What type of tools do you like to use in AI?
Ooh, I love to use a lot of different tools, but some of my favorite are ChatGPT. The reason why I love ChatGPT is because just like an iPhone, when you get really used to a tool, it becomes very close to you. And that was the first generative AI tool I've ever used. And then I love Microsoft's Copilot because it integrates really well with all of my other Microsoft tools like Microsoft Word, Microsoft PowerPoint, even my email. So I absolutely love that as well. And my newfound favorite, I know I have a lot of favorites, but I love Notebook LM. I love that I can upload a document into Notebook LM and it can turn a document into a podcast or a video or PowerPoint slides and a lot of other fun things. And so there's a lot of fun tools to play with. And some that I would suggest for kids would be Magic School AI, School AI, and my favorite, Minecraft education that builds AI literacy. And so students can learn about artificial intelligence in a way that's not intimidating and a game that's a lot of fun.
Now you help schools understand artificial intelligence. For kids watching, what exactly is AI?
So it's important, and I'll try to break it down in a way because a lot of times people make AI seem very complex, but it's actually very simple. So artificial intelligence is when you can teach a computer how to learn and how to help you to solve problems. So think about how you learn from your teacher. When you're practicing something many times, your computer can learn by looking at a lot of examples. So Sofia and Gia, if I ask you to identify a cat, you will be able to identify a cat out of a lot of animals. But you learned it from somewhere. You learned it because you saw a lot of pictures of cats, you saw cats in real life. And so at this point, you can look at a cat and you can identify it. And so in the same way, AI can also learn. It gets trained on a whole bunch of information, data, pictures, videos, and all of that. And it learns from it. And so when you type in a prompt, it's pulling from all of this information that it quote unquote learned from.
Is it important to learn how to prompt using AI?
It's extremely important to know how to prompt using AI. And so your input is as good as your output. And so if there's something wrong with your input, your output is going to be wrong too. So think about when you're doing math and you're solving a problem. There's something wrong with your input, your answer is going to be wrong. And so it's important to learn how to prompt, to think about things like, am I being specific? Am I using examples? Am I giving this tool a goal? And there's so many other factors to consider when creating a really, really strong prompt. And so, yes, prompt engineering is very important, especially for you all, because it's going to be a skill that you'll need when you grow up and you enter the workforce.
What skills are being worked on with prompting?
So in regards to skills that you would need to develop when prompting, so think about when you're typing in ChatGPT. Let's say you want your computer to generate a picture of a cat, right? I love cats today. So a kid may say something like, generate a picture of a cat. And what it's going to do is pull from all of this information, but if you don't know how to prompt, you're not going to get what you wanted. So imagine you wanted an orange cat with green eyes and, I don't know, a fuzzy tail. It's important to consider those things and to write those things in. And so when you're in class and your reading teacher is teaching you about descriptive writing, those skills are going to be very important to learn about adjectives and adverbs. All of these things are going to be so important when prompting because it's going to help you to be more specific. So instead of just saying cat, you can say orange cat or black cat with green eyes. So adding those adjectives and those descriptive words so that your output can look more like what's in your head.
Nice.
Why is it important for students our age to start learning about AI now?
So it's important for students your age to start learning about artificial intelligence because technology is advancing rapidly. I thought it was advancing rapidly when I was young, but it's advancing even faster now. So your generation, you're going to walk into a lot of jobs that don't even exist yet, millions of jobs that don't even exist yet. So when I was in school, my teachers, they were preparing me for professions that we knew about, being doctors, lawyers, and all of that. However, a lot of these professions are still going to exist. However, some of them will completely go away. And so we're preparing you for a workforce that we're unsure of right now, to be quite honest. And so it's important for us to equip you with skills like problem solving, critical thinking. And the skills that are going to be the most important, believe it or not, are the human skills. So like before, people would say, oh, it doesn't matter if he has a bad attitude. He's a great worker, so we're going to keep him. But now you have AI that's going to be doing a lot of the work. And so it's important for you to have those character traits like integrity, being kind, being nice to one another. Those are going to be the skills that really set you apart in the future.
Studies show that more boys are interested in STEM compared to girls. But if any student says, I'm not good at STEM, what would you say to encourage them?
Yes, and so we're seeing an increase in the amount of girls who are going into STEM fields. And so if there were any girls that said, I don't think I could do it, I don't think I could do what all of the boys are doing, then I would tell them, you can do anything you put your mind to. And I know that sounds very cliche, but you can do anything that a boy can do. And so never doubt yourself because you're a girl. Like, just look at me. I was in gaming and a lot of girls aren't in gaming. And so you can do anything that you want to do and never say, I can't do something because I'm a girl.
Like it. Are you a good gamer?
Actually, no, I'm absolutely awful at gaming. And so I'm in it more for the educational purposes. So a lot of teachers are scared to use games in their classroom because they're like, I'm not good at games. Neither am I. But my students taught me how to play. My students taught me how to play Minecraft Education, and all I had to do was know the content, and the students are the real gamers, and all I had to do was facilitate that learning process for them.
Before we go, we have a rapid fire question round. Just give us the first thing that comes to mind, and there are no wrong answers. Ready?
Okay. Yes, I'm ready.
Minecraft or robotics?
Minecraft, absolutely.
Designing new apps or using AI tools?
You can design new apps using AI tools, which is what I'm doing now.
Building something new or solving a big problem?
Building something new to solve a big problem.
Coding or collaborating?
Collaborating while coding.
Well, we're out of time for today. We'd like to thank Dr. Nadine Ebri for joining us and for inspiring not just young women to enter the field of STEM, but for inspiring people of all ages to do so. Thank you so much for taking the time to join us today.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye. Well, that's all for this special BTV presentation. For Gia and all of us at BTV, I'm Sophia. As always, have a beautiful day, and I hope you enjoyed this BTV special. Bye, everyone.